deserve to have the best physical, mental, spiritual. Zealous Wellness with Mike Hollis.
Hey everybody, welcome to Zealous Wellness with Mike Hollis. I am your host. Happy Monday evening. The finale of American Idol is tonight. I've really, I've watched a lot of those series, of course, but this one I've been really glued to, and I'm a big fan of Hannah and Jordan. I think Jordan's going to win. I don't know if you guys watch it or not, but I don't know, man. I really appreciate musicians and artists and people who can sing and play, instruments, like the guy Paul Phillips, who's a lead guitarist for Puddle of Mudd, used to live like 5 blocks away from me. I used to hang out with him a little bit. So I've kind of, and I used to know Meatloaf, of course, before he passed away, but I've kind of known some of these people, and I'm just like in awe of their expertise and just how good they are at what they do. And again, they kind of say the same thing as me. Like Meatloaf, I was his fantasy kicker for many years. When I first met him, I was telling him all about myself. I'm like, man, I'm just so excited to meet you. And he goes, dude, I know who you are. So he says, you're my fantasy kicker, bro. I draft you every year. I'm like, what? That's just insanity. So anyway, on a side note, of course, American Idol, I've been a big fan of it this whole season, and looking forward to watching it tonight. And but that's not what this episode's about. We're going to do a little bit different. I'm doing a little screen share with another web page. I've been doing a lot of work on a couple websites that I have that I've managed, and one's my Proform Kicking website, and the other one is zealouswellness.com, of course. And so that's one we're going to go over today, and I'm going to kind of just abbreviate and kind of talk a little bit about the different services and things that I've exposed on there, basically displayed on there, that have worked for me. Now, that's the whole premise behind the Zealous Wellness website. Is I want people to, because again, I've been around a while. I've been in the professional sports field for many years. I've been in athletics all my life. I've been, physical as far as lifting and working out. That's just a lifestyle of mine, right? But when it comes to like nutrition and things like that, of course, I want to share that with others. And I've got the knowledge, of course, because I've been around it as much as I have. And really my point is that the things that I have found that worked for me, now I know everyone's different, but I struggle with things that, for a long time that didn't work for me. And so I wanted to kind of more or less, have a platform that kind of displays the services that I feel, and I'll go over them tonight, of course, and share with you my feelings on each one of them, of course, real briefly. It's not going to be not too long. I don't want to bore you with everything, but I just got done rebranding and not rebranding, but redoing the website, both of them actually, Zealous Wellness and Proform Kicking. And I'm kind of proud of it because I was like, I worked really hard on them, and they look pretty good, I think, in my opinion. But just kind of want to explain a little bit about what goes on and what kind of services are really beneficial. There's not a bunch of services. There's probably like 8 or so, maybe even less, 6, I think. But with regards to that, I'm going to go over some of the pages, of course, and kind of give you an idea of what my experiences have been through each product or service or actual fitness workout kind of thing. Okay. So with that said, we'll take a quick break. And when we get back, we'll watch a quick commercial. When we get back, I will be a split screen, and I'll show you exactly what Zealous Wellness is all about and tell you a little bit about my experiences. So we'll be back in a minute, and we'll watch that.
It is possible. It's different this time. I'm showing up for myself because now I know that weight isn't about effort alone. It's not just calories in, calories out. For years, the world told us it was simple. Eat less, move more, try harder. But science has shown us it's more complex than that. It's a real metabolic condition. That's where GLP-3 comes in. Powered by MBC 267, a naturally derived peptide complex discovered in salmon from the Norwegian Sea and select mushrooms. GLP-3 works with the body's own system to help manage appetite and support metabolic balance. No fighting your body, no forced outcomes, just support where it actually matters. Because when you address the real factors at play, progress feels possible. I'm becoming the best version of myself. This is me and GLP-3.
All right, welcome back. So if you guys can see my screen, I'm pretty sure you can here. This is the new updated website that I've created, and I put a lot of work and effort into it. I might have used AI a little bit, maybe some photos, not going to say, but yeah. AI is becoming a pretty cool thing. I don't want to make it, I don't want to be reliant on it though. That's my fear, is like, I don't want to get so engulfed into AI that I'm not using my brain at all, which is a problem a lot of people, I'm sure, would understand. I think there is some bad parts of AI, especially here in the future. I've seen some stuff, gone down some rabbit holes and seen something. Of course, my friends are sending me stuff as well and talking about how AI is just going to become this huge, takeover basically, and robots, and it's transhumanism. And I believe me, I've been down it all and saw it all. But I don't want to get too glued into AI and reliant on it. I want to make my own decisions and get to a point. But I do need some help on some things. So this is the homepage of Zealous Wellness, and again, like I mentioned before, I'm just going to go through some of the things on it, some of the features, of course, and also with regards to the connections that I have with the people that I've communicated with and partnered with as well, and the services and products that they offer, because they've done well for me. Okay, so this is kind of the main page of Zealous Wellness, and cool thing, I just maybe a few weeks ago just finished my certification as a primal health coach. With the Primal Health Coach Institute. They use the word primal for a reason, because we kind of think about like the Neanderthals and what the kind of the humanity, what were we like back then, and what were we eating back then, and how often were we eating, and how much sun did we get, and how much sleep did we get, and how much earthing did they get. There's a lot of things that we used to do as cavemen, and even back the Neanderthal era that we don't do now because of modern technology, food processing, things like that, and of course, again, being very blunt here and talking about the kind of the ideas that we've been fed as far as the information. I mean, the biggest example, not the biggest, one of them is like the food pyramid. Like for so long, they wanted us to eat grains and rice and cereal even, yeah. Starches, things like that. Well, that was on the top level of the food pyramid. That was supposed to be majority of our daily diet. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense at all. And of course, you can kind of see what's going on. So anyway, going back to my point is that primal, we kind of want to learn how we were very healthy back then. Obviously, there was diseases and stuff that we didn't have the technology to take care of and so forth. So there was, that era kind of died off, at a younger age because of certain things, maybe hunting and getting killed from animals and stuff they were trying to hunt. But as far as like the health and so forth that they had was pretty good. Okay. And so I've learned a lot about getting back to like old school type of eating, and so forth. And so I haven't really started my nutrition, my coaching, health coach business yet. It's kind of in the process of kind of creating that as well. But I got the credentials, and I'm a certified health coach as we speak. So the featured wellness partners, of course, Legends Health and Wellness. I'm going to go over all these, of course, three international. Proactive Wellness, that was the commercial you just saw as well. They're a partner with us as well. Hydrosonic Water, who he's making a big change with a lot of his stuff recently, about to go into some major production, hopefully. And then, of course, with the fitness stuff, the performance and fitness, I've been involved with title boxing for more than 14 years now. F45 is a newer one, about a year and a half or so. I was always hesitant to work out with weights and do circuit training. Hesitant because of my back. I didn't want to throw my back out again and have any issues. Of course, I'm being very careful. I've had 4 back surgeries in the NFL, and I'm trying to really take care of myself and keep from making my back worse, which it actually feels really good. And I'm telling you, with everything that I'm doing is the reason why. I mean, as far as my lifting and boxing and staying in shape and keep my core pretty fit and strong. That's a big deal. And then also hopefully, the nutrition, of course, anything that's going to keep me anti-inflammatory, because inflammation is all over, whether you're talking about stemming from disease. Well, disease stems from inflammation as well. Plus, obviously, pain. People have inflammation in their body; they don't even know it. So sometimes it doesn't really deal with pain, but we all have some sort of inflammation in our bodies, right? And so you want to kind of keep it under control, especially when you're dealing with some pain. So those are kind of, and then of course the Zealous Wellness platform on Spotify and all these other, the podcast, of course, is what I'm referring to. That's definitely one of the, it's not really a service. It's just obviously a spot where we can, for people to kind of learn a little bit. Again, I'm kind of becoming a professional in the wellness area. And so with regards to Legends Health and Wellness, that's gonna be the first page we're gonna start with. But I'm gonna share a story with you, and then of course that's why I'm offering like a 20% off. I'm not me. Legends Health and Wellness has offered 20% off the initial consultation when you reach out to them, and you use code Zealous Wellness to do that, of course, and then request your consultation. That takes you to the contact page. Okay. So if we go back to the top and go to Legends, let's talk about Legends real fast. This is kind of a picture of Zealous Wellness in partnership with Legends Health and Wellness. The girl over here on the right, Rebecca Morris, she was our guest last week. Rebecca Morris, professionally. I call her Becca. And I think we shared a little bit of insight on how we met on the episode last week. But in case you missed it, she's a huge Jaguar fan, and as a former Jaguar player, we used to go around. We still do go around the city, and if the Jaguars need us for appearances, or guys that are in collectibles and things like that, kind of line up some appearances for us to sign some cards. Charge a little bit of money for the fans and whatever from the fans to be there. Blah blah blah. Well. Becca is always at these things, like at a lot of them, at the TV shows during the season when they're doing the TV shows on a Monday night after a Sunday game. She's there to kind of support the players that are up there being interviewed and so forth. And so she actually named her company Legends Health and Wellness after the word legends really is from our former players. I don't know, maybe 6-7 years ago, they coined the term legends instead of NFL alumni or former player. They coined us as legends, which is, it's cool. It's got a nice ring to it, but she named her company Legends Health and Wellness. And so I partnered with her recently and kind of more or less specialize in the peptides. She does a lot of things, as you'll see here, of course, advanced wellness through trusted partnerships. And this kind of talks about, and that's me, of course, when I was getting some treatment with her a long time ago. And another information there about the 20% off if you book through there. And of course, the featured service, I deal with her mostly in peptides. So that's where, and again, I'm taking 3 different peptides right now. And again, I'm learning more about them and kind of quizzing her and asking her some questions about some others that I might want to try later on. So these are kind of all the little services that she offers: regenerative medicine, hormone optimization, weight management, which is kind of encompassing around the peptide part. Injectable wellness is another peptides. And again, weight management, there's other services that she provides as well, not only peptides, but and injectable wellness really revolves around peptides, of course. Pain and injury support, those are like stem cells, injections, things like that. And then, of course, a concierge service as well. So that's kind of the page there. So again, if you want to just ask questions, you want to learn a little bit about peptides and what they can do for you, just get on and request a initial consultation. I think they're $140, something like that, and 20% off of that. Might be a little bit more than that. But you'll at least have a good idea of what they do and what they offer. And she is incredibly knowledgeable. If you guys saw her last week, very, very, very smart gal. All right, let's move on to 3 International. I've been actually a part of the company for quite a while here, probably almost 4 years now, I guess. They started in February of 2023. So it's been almost 4 years now, I guess, 3.5, I guess. And I do still to this day take almost all their products. I mean, I don't really deal with the skincare a whole lot anymore. They've got other things that I do. That kinetic, that energy. And I'll show you down here, of course, what it is. But all these are different products that 3 International offers. The Kinetic is an energy drink that I take every day before I work out, and during my workout, I have it in me as well. The Visage skincare. I had testimonials where I got hit with a baseball right in my forehead, right here above my eyebrow. Didn't get stitches. I mean, I had a couple doctors there on site. It was a 4th of July party, so there was a lot of people there. And luckily, a couple of them were doctors, and they're like, dude, you got to go to the ER and get stitches. I'm like, nah, man, I want to try this. The Visage was almost brand new at that point. We had a collagen product as well, which is, you see there as well. But definitely I didn't get stitches. I took care of it by myself. I didn't even get I did get steri strips. So I was cutting up Band-Aids and kind of using them as steri strips, and then kind of holding it together. And there is no scar. You have to look really hard to see the scar. And again, I did not get stitches. And people are just so amazed about that. So Immune is an immune product. It's called Immune, antioxidant product called Revive. Revive is the anti-inflammatory product as well. Detox is Purify is another product, multivitamin called Vitalite. And then GLP-3, that was the commercial you guys saw. That was a natural GLP-1 peptide. Even though they call it GLP-3, 3 is really the name of the company 3. So there is such thing as GLP-3. I think that's maybe that's it, peptide, called GLP-3 actually. So, so we deal with the absorption, which is we have the cellular absorption delivery technologies that are patented. We have a bunch of them that we use in these products. They're all plant-based, Proactive Wellness course, and a lot of them are in the PDR. I think there's 9 of our total products are listed in the physician's desk reference, which is actually now called the prescriber's digital reference. That's the reference that doctors go to when they're looking for prescriptions or any sort of care, any sort of nutraceuticals for their patients. A little quote by me. If you can see my spine back there in the background, it's all crooked, and I don't take Advil anymore. I can promise you, still to this day, from this first day I started taking the products more than 3.5 years ago, to this day, I have not touched an Advil. And I think it's for this reason. I've been taking these since day one, and I haven't needed them. I do take a little bit more throughout the day. I take more than is required, but that's okay. I'm feeling pretty good. So that's 3 international. I'm kind of trying to buzz through yours. Don't want to bore you too much. Hydrosonic. Now, my guy, Tony. I've known this guy for probably 7-8 years now, and he gives me, water on a monthly basis, we'll say, a bunch of water that he actually creates. And so he literally takes the city water and distills it, takes it all away, takes everything out of it, makes it dead, basically. It's dead water with absolutely nothing in it, right? And then he starts from scratch from that. And he takes it through a patented 14-step process that makes the water just like, again, the way he describes it, he's a very smart guy. So a lot of stuff goes right on my head. I'm like, I don't know what you just said. Put it in layman's terms. He says, you think about a snowflake that has not gone through the atmosphere and collected all the pollutants in the air. If you were able to consume a snowflake, which is obviously frozen water, essentially, that's the water that I make. Like, whoa, wait, what? And I'm addicted to it. I will, anybody I talk to, when I talk about water, ask them, anybody brings up water, I will say everything I can about hydrosonic because I love it. It's very highly absorbable. So there's no, with athletics, they don't, the athlete drinks a bunch of water. There's no sloshing and gurgling around your stomach. That water gets absorbed really quickly. You literally pour it in your hand and do this a couple times and it's gone. It literally absorbs through your hand like immediately. It's crazy. So very, very good water. I just feel sorry for him because he hasn't had that breakthrough yet with regards to any capital, people looking to invest yet. He doesn't have a lot of money to spend on production yet. So he's been struggling a little bit with that, but I think he's on to something real soon, and hopefully we'll get that in distribution soon. So again, a lot of good information here on the water, less bloating, smooth taste. I can vouch for that, the smooth taste. I think it tastes great, even room temperature. People, room temperature water is gross. It's actually really good. And it just, there's no aftertaste, and kind of, it leaves you kind of wanting more. Not to say that you're going to drink a bunch of it. It doesn't leave you thirsty. It just, because it's so good, and it's got a really good aftertaste that I just want to drink more. And I don't drink anything else. I mean, I might have some milk or something like that around, but I don't drink sodas. I carry my water. Look, right here. I carry this everywhere I go. Okay. pH balance. And again, he was talking about the balance of people. Oh, I need a high pH in my water. No, 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 you don't. Because here's the thing. When a water company produces a high pH water, puts it, produces it wherever, however long ago it was, distributes it to the market, those stores that get it, put it on the shelves, it's sitting on the shelves for how many weeks, months, whatever, in the store, whatever. The pH goes away after a while. You may not know that, but it does. And he says, well, listen, this water is balanced perfectly, and there's no need to have a higher pH in it because it's going to go away anyways. So he makes it just a natural water. Again, like you think about the Neanderthals and getting the primal thing I was just talked about at the beginning of this episode, where we think of what did they drink? They drank the most natural, cleanest river flowing water back in the day. It was crystal clear and there was nothing put in it, no fluoride or chlorine or nothing. Now, of course, humans come along like later on in life that get smart and for whatever reason they would think, oh, let's put fluoride in the water because it's good for your teeth and this and that. Fluoride has turned out to be not a good stuff. It does a lot of bad things within the body. I think it turns frogs into a different gender, I've heard. So again, going down some rabbit holes here, but I'm not a big fan of fluoride. They even talk about in toothpaste now that people don't want toothpaste with fluoride in it. I don't know, 20 years ago, like, oh, I got to have toothpaste with fluoride in it because it's great. I had an old girlfriend, which, by the way, that introduced me to title boxing. I'll bring that up. She was all about drinking tap water every day, tap water. I'm like, ugh, that's gross. It's disgusting. And she wanted to drink tap water because of the fluoride in it. I hope she understands now. And she's an occupational therapist now. So hopefully she understands that this water is not good for you. Tap water. So I highly recommend hydrosonic water. It'll be in production. I'm actually going to be working on a website for him shortly as part of my responsibilities, getting free water. He does a lot for me as far as the free water and stuff. So podcast, don't need to talk too much about the podcast. We're on it right now, but here's kind of some information about it. Clearly you understand what it is. I'll just fly right through that. Okay. The next one here, we're going to go to title boxing. As I mentioned before, that was me a long time ago. And I have a better picture of me looking pretty fat. I'll be blunt. I was fat. I'm not real tall. I'm about 5'8" on a really good day, I'd like to say, but I'm shrinking. I think I'm like 5'7". I'm not real big. And I was like a little over 200 pounds. And for me, oh gosh, that was disgusting. I was huffing and puffing, tying my shoes. And way back in the day, we first started Zealous Wellness, I was talking a lot about my transformation and why I get involved in getting healthy. I went through a divorce, got depressed, got fat. After I retired, I got fat and, not really depressed, but I didn't want to kick anymore. Obviously I'm not kicking anymore, but my back was killing me. So I'm like, last thing I want to do is kick a football right now. And I want to heal my back. Well, I thought hanging around and just giving myself a break was going to be good. No, it made it worse. And of course, all this up and down stuff I mentioned before happened on a few occasions where I got real heavy and I thought, well, I got to change my lifestyle, blah, blah, blah. And I've got it back under kind of control and got heavy again. So I'm not doing any of that anymore. I'm going to stay where I am now. And you see the picture in the middle there. I'm at almost 1,300 now classes. Of course, I've been there almost 14 years. And of course, because I was a kicker, everyone compliments me on my kicks. Like, oh my gosh, you're so good. How long have you been kickboxing? I'm like, well, I got a little bit of history somewhere else. And I kind of, let them figure it out I don't really, say anything, whatever. But the word gets around like, oh yeah, somebody told me you were a kicker in the NFL. I'm like, yeah. So anyways, yeah. So, title boxing. So going back to the girlfriend, my first introduction to title boxing, she asked me to go. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I hadn't talked to her in a while, whatever. So we go there. Now, of course, I was pretty out of shape at that time. Woo, that was a struggle. I'm like, man, this is hard. I don't know if I can do this. And I was telling my nephews, I got two twin nephews from Washington State, actually, that live here. One of them's in Jacksonville, right up the road from me, and the other one's down in St. Augustine, but they went to law school in Miami, both of them. And they graduated, of course, since I was the only relative kind of that they had in Florida, they come up to Jacksonville quite often to visit, and they loved it. So they moved up here. Anyways, they asked me, Justin and Jeffrey. Justin had asked me one time and said, hey, didn't you do a title boxing thing with Brittany, your old girlfriend? I'm like, yeah. It was hard. So how I see this on, he was telling me, he's like, I see this on Groupon. There's a 2-week thing for like $50, and Jeffrey and I are going to do it, and wanted to know I wanted to ask you about it if you wanted to do it too. And I said, you know what? It was hard, but I would like you guys to do it, so I'll do it too. So I got the $50 thing for 2 weeks, whatever, and started going. I had my buddy Bernie, who passed away from COVID. I've talked a lot about him. Wasn't real healthy, and I think COVID kind of got him, and the protocol and all that. I can go really far into that. But my point is with Bernie, we both joined at the same time. So I did most of the 2 weeks. I was the one of the three of us, me, Jeffrey, and Justin. Bernie came a little later on, I think, but the three of us, I did the most. Like Jeffrey and Justin didn't really continue doing it much. I think they thought it was kind of hard too. And so did I, because again, I'm out of shape and not feeling real strong at the time. My endurance was shot. But I learned that you can pace yourself. And that was, being an athlete, professional athlete, of course, I'm very stubborn a little bit at times. And I'm like, yeah, I can do this. I got this. And I'm dead at the end of the training, of course. And so anyway, so Bernie comes on, and then we finally, both Bernie and myself, finally commit. Let's do this. Okay, we got the membership. Okay, great. Well, Bernie had a job that he had to be at early in the morning, so we would have to go at like 6 a.m. And I don't have a job that I've got to be at that early in the morning. And so I would go and meet him there, and we'd work out at 6 or whatever. And then he'd go to his job, and I'd go do my own stuff and so forth. Well, he stopped showing up at 6. I'm like, the only reason I'm coming here is because you at 6. And so he finally, just dipped out. He just gave up, and I kept going. And so when going back to my original story, Brittany, who basically was my old girlfriend, she got me involved in title boxing. I don't talk to her really much anymore, but it was super cool. I'm like, wow. At first, it was hard, but again, learning how to pace yourself and understanding what it means to not try to be a hero. And any new person in class that comes in, I do mention to them. I said, don't try to be a hero. I've seen a lot of people walk out of here in their first class before the class is even over. And again, because they're, you're hitting a bag, you haven't probably never done it in your life. And you're like, oh, this is great. First couple rounds, you're like punching away. And next thing you know, you're like shot. So we got to watch out for that. But I believe this is one of the best classes. Yeah, see, I'm more than 1,200. I'm almost at 1,300 now. One of the best endurance sort of cardio classes that I've ever done. And I did this for a long time. That was the only workout I did for a very long time until I was introduced to F45. And that's the next one we're going to talk about. So mindset, wellness, perseverance, holistic lifestyle, that kind of stuff. So a lot of cool stuff with title boxing. They're nationwide. And they don't have a lot of places nationwide, but they are probably in every state, I would assume. Now F45 is a little different. I think they are a little bit more nationwide than title boxing even is. Not a lot of people understand boxing, or maybe they're a little fearful. Maybe you say boxing to them and think, oh, I don't want to get hit, but you're not hitting anybody into boxing. You're punching a bag. It's just you against the bag, basically. And you're doing some stuff with the trainer as far as different combinations of throwing punches and kicks, of course. But F45 is a little different. So functional 45 training is what it's really referred to. And it's basically like circuit training. And so there's a lot of different things that we do in there. And then you have weights. And again, it's your decision. How heavy do you want to do this certain exercise? And there's like stations, like you literally rotate through a station. Every station in exercise is timed. And so like today we did 4 sets at each station. And then I think there was like 9 or 10 stations, 9, because there was 3 in each pod. They call them pods. So you do three stations within the first pod. Every station, you do 4 reps of 45 seconds, and then it went to 40 seconds, and then maybe 15, 20 seconds rest. And then, it went from 35 and then 30. So it kind of, and that's just one of the many types of things that they do. So there's a lot of different options. I was introduced to circuit training back in junior college, and this was back in the early 90s. And it was the college. The coach, Sandy Cooprider, actually the head football coach, was the athletic director at the school. And he had the circuit training program, and I just fell in love with it. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. This is awesome. So you're not just going in and lifting weights and then reading the paper, or getting on your phone or doing whatever. And, I'm good now. I'm going to go do another set. Okay, now go away for another 5 minutes. No. You do a set, and then you rest a couple, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever. Then you go right into another set, or even less, less rest time. So it keeps your blood flowing. It keeps the heart rate up. And they do cardio and then also lifting. And so there's different a lot of different programs that they offer as far, and every day is different, which is another cool thing that I like about F45. I don't get anything out of F45 or title boxing or some of the others. With 3 International, I do. It's a network marketing company. With Legends Health and Wellness. I do get some cut from the peptide sales. So I got to be transparent and honest with you guys. But not all these do I get anything from. I like to just promote these because I love them. I mean, these are really good workouts and really good products and services, again, that have benefited me personally. I know everyone's different, but I've just fallen in love with these services and products that so much so that I definitely want to continue using them and taking the classes as well. So that's pretty much it. And all the contact forms will go right to me. So if you go to these contact forms, you just fill out this contact form. It'll come right to my email address. Same thing with actually my Proform Kicking website, obviously, will come right back to me as well. So a lot of cool stuff with that. But with that said, I mean, that's basically everything I wanted to kind of go over today, and kind of explain a little bit about Zealous Wellness, what the platform involves. I'm going to create like maybe a nutrition or a health coaching business within that. And again, I'm not going to be too specific with it as far as I don't want to jump in, too aggressively. I want to kind of, again, I'm a perfectionist, and they tell us when I'm studying for this certification, they say, when you're going through the business side of it, they're like, you don't have to. And of course, it's multiple choice questions on all these things, and what are true or false. You have to have everything all lined up before you start your business. Of course, that's false. You don't. But I'm one of those that I just want to make things kind of perfect. The first impression kind of person. I want to be good on the first impression about what I do, because word of mouth is very powerful, especially someone that people kind of know of. The older I get, the less knowing of me I get, but people kind of know who I am, and if they say that I'm doing this thing and then, oh yeah, it's great. And then I don't do well for them. They're like, oh, that guy's not very good. So I don't want that, of course. So I want to be a little bit more knowledgeable. Again, I'm going to go back and study a little bit more, because I bounce around a little bit, as you can tell. I do a lot of different things, miscellaneous stuff every single day. I'm also just involved in a financial class. Basically, it's 3T. It's John Vasquez, Coach JV. If you have any knowledge about him, got to know him a little bit, not personally, but on social media, because of crypto. I'm invested in crypto as well. XRP, go baby. HBAR, I got Solana, I got a lot. I don't have a lot. I have, a little bit. I got a lot of XRP for sure. I'm telling you that one's going to be a big one. Hopefully, the Clarity Act's going to be signed here pretty soon. They're saying Thursday it might even be signed. So who knows? I'm not holding my breath, because they say that before. Like, oh yeah, everything's going to go to the moon. Yeah, right. Okay. I'm going to be patient and do that. But anyways, John Vasquez. I'm enrolled in his Warrior Academy, 3T Warrior Academy, where I'm learning a lot about finances. And that is out of my wheelhouse. I'm not a very knowledgeable person when it comes to numbers and finances and where to put money, but that's why I'm doing this, because I want to learn. I always want to educate myself and get better at things. And of course, with everyday life, finances are a very important thing. And I lost a lot of money after I finished with football. I wasn't getting paid like the Dallas Cowboy kicker's got he's making $7 million a year. He's the highest paid kicker in the history of the NFL right now. I was the highest paid kicker in the NFL history for like 2 months or 2 weeks. And then Alindo Mari down in Miami just destroyed my contract here in Jacksonville. Anyways, I didn't make the money that these guys are making now. Not even close. So I've definitely had to learn a little bit about, maintaining my finances and not going broke. And believe me, I've lost a lot of money in some bad investments, primarily because I wasn't knowledgeable enough to make them. I was just going off other people's opinions and knowledge. And again, that's why they say do your own research on these kind of things. Do your own research on crypto. Of course, XRP it's in a different category because of what they can do, what the XRP can do as well. So I encourage you to kind of look into it. Obviously, it's not investment advice, but give it a gander and see what you got. So with that said, definitely want you guys to have an amazing Monday night. Watch American Idol. The finale is tonight. Go Hannah, go Jordan. I like them both. I think Jordan's going to probably win. He has been incredible throughout this whole journey. But watch out tonight, and I hope you guys have an amazing Monday night, and I definitely will see you guys next Monday night at 5:30 on Zealous Wellness. I love you all. Mike Hollis signing out. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching Zealous Wellness with Mike Hollis. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you next time.